Today, I'm going to be addressing a requested topic, which was, how do you know? What signs can you look for that you are ready to step in the ring or the cage for the very first time? This is a question that probably goes through every person's head when they are starting to think about competition, or people are starting to tell them they're ready for competition, but they're a little nervous about it, rightfully so. So today, I will give you 6 tips that you are ready for your first fight. Now I want to start this episode off by being really upfront with you. I had years of karate experience, years of competing in karate tournaments when I was a child. Then when I got into my teenage years, I started transitioning a little bit into sort of light contact kickboxing. But then from ages 16 up to 20, I did pretty much no competition, and I just focused on training for my first kickboxing fight, my first full contact, no pads, 3 2-minute rounds kickboxing fight. And it took me about 3 or 4 years until I felt I was really ready for it. Now, is that too long? Probably yes. I probably did not need to train that long, but I didn't really have anybody telling me when I was going to absolutely be ready and what signs would allow me to recognize that I was ready to step in the ring. And now, after over 15 years of competing as an amateur and then a decade as a professional, and with all these belts behind me, I think I am more than qualified to tell you guys what signs you can look for to be ready to fight. So let's jump into point number 1, and that is your defense is on point. You are not blinking every time somebody throws a shot at you. This is one of the first things that I look for. If I start working with somebody, I look at their eyesight and go, okay, if I let a punch combo go, what are they doing? Are they closing their eyes? Are they trying to defend by pushing their hands out and leaning backwards? There are many things that you can do wrong. So many ways to be defensively incorrect. But if somebody's composed, if I throw at them and I just see their hands stay tight to their head and they just look straight down the middle and they block the shots, or they see the shots coming and they slip the shots, whatever the scenario may be, if I see no blinking, solid contact with the eyes on the chest or the shots that are coming towards their head, I go, okay, this person is ready enough. It might not be perfect defense, but they're ready enough to step in and do some competition, to try their hand at their first fight. The next thing that I would look for is their ability to hit decently hard. If every time they throw shots, it's just tap, 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 even when they're doing pad work, I'm going to go, okay, you don't have the power to hurt somebody yet, and if you don't have the power to hurt them, then they're not going to respect you. And if they have the power to hurt you, it's only a matter of time before they completely disregard your offense because there's no power there, and they just bowl right through you and end up getting a big knockout. So you have to have that ability to hurt people at your own weight class. You don't have to be able to hurt everybody in your gym or guys way bigger than you, but you have to have enough power to hurt people in your own weight class, even if that's not your style. Even if you're not somebody who's going to come out with big power shots, you still have to be able to let people know occasionally that you can hurt them if necessary. The next sign that you are ready for your first fight is you are able to spar bigger and more advanced people in your gym and maintain composure. If you break down every time somebody's a little bit more skilled than you and you can't maintain your composure, whether it's you completely giving up on yourself or you lose composure and you just decide, oh, I'm going to just destroy this person. Both of those are no good. You need to have composure so you can draw back when necessary, but you can go on the attack when necessary. And if somebody outskills you a little bit, it doesn't throw you for a loop, because there are going to be times in your career, it could be your very first fight, where you come out and you lose the first minute. And then you have to draw from that composure, which you've practiced in the gym, and then go and take over and get the win. So make sure you're not always sparring people who are beneath you, especially when you're coming up to your first fight. You want to be sparring guys who are better, who are challenging you, so your first fight doesn't seem as difficult as the sparring that you're doing in the gym. The next sign that I would be looking for before the first fight is your body conditioning. It needs to be improving. It does not need to be perfect by any means. You don't need to step into the gym and go, okay, somebody could low kick me 50 times per leg and I can take really hard body shots and none of it will faze me. No, that's something that comes down the road. But I've worked with so many people where I throw one low kick and I see them buckle, or I give them one little tap to the body and they're, ugh. And if that's the case, you're probably not ready for your first fight, because you might be able to defend your head, but you cannot step into a fight and expect not to take low kicks and not to take some attacks to the body. So that body conditioning through the legs and the torso needs to be on point. If you're not feeling super strong about that yet, start getting people in the gym to just, bang your body a little bit at the end of class, chop down the legs, get those stronger so that you can go into a fight and know your body will hold up. Now, next one is a super major point. You have to want it. You have to want that fight. And as I already mentioned at the beginning of the episode, I was about 16 years old when I stopped doing sort of karate, light contact, kickboxing competition. And I didn't end up fighting until I was about 20 years old. And there's a big gap in there where other people were telling me I should be competing, but I just didn't want it yet. I did not feel confident yet, and it took me that long, and I probably could have done things faster. But also looking back, it wasn't until I was about 20 that I really wanted it. So if you are at the point where you've checked off all the boxes that I've already mentioned before or previous to this, and you're going, oh, I really want the first fight. Like, it's something that I can't wait for. I'm so pumped for this first event, for this first experience stepping in the ring, then that is a good sign that you are getting much closer to being ready for your first fight. If you're kind of like, yeah, I don't know, well, then you're probably not at that point where you need to be bothering to put yourself through the mental and physical exertion that it takes to compete. And finally, and one of the most important things in my opinion, you need to be nervous. And I know that might sound sort of counterintuitive, me telling you that you should be scared, but I have seen too many people enter the ring for their first fight and tell me, and actually seem to be acting the whole time like they're not nervous. And then they go out and they don't perform the way they should, and they don't get the win, which they probably could have gotten if they would have recognized how serious it is taking a fight. This is something that you need to be. If you're not nervous, you need to reflect on maybe why that is. Are you not taking the training seriously? Are you not taking the level of your competition seriously? Something's got to make you a little bit scared and make you a little bit nervous. And when you have that, you will have a healthy respect for how hard you should be training, how good your opponent might be, and then you'll probably go in and you'll get that win. So if we go through the whole list of everything I said, guys, you check off all the boxes initially, your body's conditioned, you're feeling those nerves, then yes, I would say you're getting very close to being ready for your first fight. Of course, you have to consult with your trainer, sparring partners, everybody like that. They will give you lots of feedback. But everything I'm giving you is more in terms of up here, things you should be able to go through on your own and just recognize, okay, yes, according to everything Gabriel said, I am getting close to being ready for that first fight, and you can make that big leap, step in, and hopefully have a fantastic result. And that's it, guys. That's all from me today. Although you can check out another video. I do have a few pointers on what you should make sure you have down really, really well before you get in for your first fight. So you can check that out. It talks in terms of cardio, in terms of pad work, all the other things you should be doing. So take a look at that video. Aside from that, guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, please give it a like. If you haven't already, join the channel, get subscribed. And as always, guys, train super hard, and I'll see you back here soon for another video.